win for Dricus Du Plessis means some changes to the UFC pound-for-pound rankings. So, as we do after every UFC pay-per-view, let's look at the list and see how the pound-for-pound has changed. Coming in at number 10, this is all on the men's side. Coming in at number 10, it is Alex Volkanovski. Yes, it hasn't been a great run for him lately, but I still think when a couple of your biggest losses come against the one of the pound-for-pound kings, you still deserve to be on the list, and Volkanovski absolutely still deserves to be there. Coming in at number 9, I still have Leon Edwards on this list as someone who, again, a couple of big wins over a guy who was at the time a pound-for-pound king in Kamaru Usman. You don't just lose this spot right away. So I do think that Leon Edwards deserves to be on this list, and that's why he still is. At number 8, it's Jon Jones. I have moved him down basically every time due to inactivity. Like it is becoming comical to the point of frustrating how this whole thing has played out with Jon Jones. And so I think very deservedly we have bumped Jon Jones down this list, coming in at number 8. At 7, it is Belal Muhammad, so he moves up a spot. He was new to the rankings after the last one with a convincing win over Leon Edwards. And so because of Jon Jones's inactivity, Belal Muhammad jumps up one more spot. Coming in at number 6, it is Tom Aspinall. The interim heavyweight champion is ahead of Jon Jones because he just keeps whooping that ass and continues to move his way up these rankings. At 5, it is Ilia Topuria. I think this kid is an absolute dynamo, and again, he beats Volkanovski to get onto this list, and Volkanovski was a top pound-for-pound guy at that time, and so Topuria just gains that level, coming off of one of the biggest wins of his career, and now is setting up for a gigantic fight against Max Holloway coming up a little bit later on this year. Coming in at number 4, it is Sean O'Malley. He has a fight coming up, we think, with Merab Dvalishvili, although Merab apparently got cut in training, posted it on social media, and Dana White was super stoked about it. But I would imagine that fight is still coming up, and O'Malley, one of the top fighters in this sport. There's no question about that right now. And number 3, Dricus Du Plessis. So he moves up from 4 to 3, getting onto the podium right now with a win over Israel Adesanya, the middleweight champion. He has beat 3 former champions in a row to get to this spot, and now there's talks of him moving up to 205 pounds and fighting up there. Some interesting fights await for Dricus Du Plessis. One of them could be against our number 2 fighter, Alex Pereira. He has saved many a big card for the Ultimate Fighting Championship this year. Doesn't necessarily have the biggest test coming up, but still 2-division champion. Recently, I know I have a former 2-division champion down at the bottom there, but 2-division champion very recently with wins over a number of guys who have been threatening for the pound-for-pound. So he has to be up there. And then at number 1, it still has to be Islam Makhachev. A couple of wins over Volkanovski, who was at the time at the time of one of them, I had him at pound-for-pound number 1. At the time of the second, I had him pound-for-pound number 2. So you beat that guy, you kind of just get to stay up here at the top for a really long time. So we will see how long that reign at the top lasts. But for now, it absolutely is, I think, deserving. And Islam Makhachev, your pound-for-pound great, but Dricus Du Plessis moving his way up into the top 3.